Tip-off goes to Houston. And the starting group for the Spurs. Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Pau Gasol is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Leonard in at the 3 slot. Anderson's shot is off.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
And here we go. And Harden gets it to go in on the assist by Ariza. Harden's got the game going here with the first basket for Houston. Here's San Antonio. Outside Leonard kicks it to Parker. Pass to Gasol. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's incredible to think that Pau Gasol last year set a career high in points in a game for as long Clark as he's played. He had that 46-point game in January.
Yeah, that's 46 points for Pau to go with 18 rebounds. I mean,
right.
You rarely see a player of his age putting up a career high like that.
Good on both.
And with Pau, that 46-point game, he became the oldest player to get 45 points and 15 rebounds.
Now here's Harden. Pass to Gordon. He feeds it to Anderson. And Gasol comes to help. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
We've played just over a minute here in the first. Rockets on defense.
And a final point, guys, with Pau's career game. It's crazy to think that he did it while not being the first offensive option. I mean, he had been the go-to guy with his time in Memphis for so long.
And Leonard gets it to go.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Gordon up on top, guarded by Green. Ariza against Leonard. Ariza dishes to Anderson. He took good advantage of that screen. Anderson's got his first points in this one.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Spurs passing it around. Parker kicks to Aldridge. From the high post, that drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker.
Don't take your eyes off of him because he can make plays from multiple spots on the floor. Put the isolated cam on him.
Here's the screen. Leonard against Ariza. Right side, Gordon. And all around the rim that time before dropping in.
How about 3 or 4 from the floor to start? That's always a good sign. And the Rockets were a tough team last year, but at times it really felt like a one-man show. Harden carried them so much for so long. You just have to wonder if it wore him out.
Leonard attacking. The rebound by Harden.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
Lays it up and banks it in. And if carrying the team during the regular season wore Harden down, Greg, you're talking about, it didn't show that much in the playoffs. Harden was phenomenal most, if not Clark, all of the postseason.
I would agree with you, but there also were some other guys for Houston that did step up in the postseason. Howard looked as good as he did before all of his injuries, as a case in point.
The offensive rebound.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Gordon. No good. Great D that time from Green. San Antonio trailing here. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, I was able to catch up with the head coach for the Rockets just a moment ago. He talked about the respect he has for the game of LaMarcus Aldridge and how tough it will be for them to slow him down, saying Aldridge is tough because he can score facing up or with his back to the basket. And with his length, it's tough to bother his shot. We'll look to deny him the ball when we can and just try as hard as possible every touch. Kevin, we'll see how successful they are.
Thanks, Doris. Here is Harden following the basket by LaMarcus Aldridge. Anderson's shot is off. 1:39 left in the first quarter of the game. Here's Gasol. And it's off from three-point range. Houston's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Ariza goes in. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
There are certain things, guys, that you can always count on in life. Death, taxes, and, of course, the Spurs winning 50 games in the regular season. Happened for the 16th straight season last year.
And the first one at the line is good. Well, keeping in mind the Spurs have won 50 games or more for many years in a row, Greg, there are teams out there who can drive cars who have not even seen the Spurs not win 50 games, at least in a year.
And the way the Spurs keep on building this team, it's not as if that streak's going to end anytime soon. Those kids might have a chance to vote and do much more before they fail to see the Spurs win 50 games.
Now here's Ginobili. Just 5 on the clock. Fires for 3. The shot is off. And it's Houston the other way. 55 seconds left here in the first quarter. Hits up that one from Ennis.
Most any NBA player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Lee passes to Simmons. Pass to Mills. Releases. Here's Lee. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. The Spurs have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both. And the first one drops. One thing about David Lee, he's a proven scorer and rebounder. Clark, health, though, has been a concern.
It has been very durable early in his career, Kevin, but of late we've seen hamstring issues, back issues, and torn hip flexors, and that's taken a toll on him for sure.
And the Rockets making a change here. Brewers checked in.
And, guys, for David Lee, when healthy, he can absolutely fill it up. I mean, he's a terrific offensive player, can score over both shoulders, a really solid passer, and, of course, a volume rebounder. And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. This guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
It's a tie game here in Houston. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break.
Wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
And so we conclude the first half. Spurs lead by 10. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. Coach Popovich, a strong first half for you. Was the up-tempo pace part of the game plan?
Well, we've upped the pace. It's what we need to do because we're not as good a defensive team as we used to be, so something's got to give somewhere.
Pop, thanks for the time, guys.
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We're going to break down the first half action for you. A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. Nothing seemed to give way on either side of the scoring column as they wrapped up the period all knotted up. In the second quarter, they imposed their will on the game and built a 10-point lead at the half. And if things continue to go the same way after the break, they're threatening to run away with this one. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how San Antonio played?
I don't think anyone expected to see such numbers from the bench. You know, I'm impressed. It was what they needed, the jolt they needed, Ernie. Wow, I never knew their bench. As a matter of fact, I don't even know any of their players coming off the bench. Man, keep going, bench guys.
And over to Kenny. What did you think about the Rockets?
I'd really like to see them attack the rim a little bit more. change the game up, man. Generate some more easy baskets. Part of the reason they're behind is because they've been outclassed inside. They haven't been able to drive the ball, dish the ball. They need to pound it in the paint more if they want to win this basketball game.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway. One of the stories here, James Harden getting it done today.
Always been a dynamic scorer, and we saw in that first half the entire repertoire on display.
Yeah, he's a hard man to keep down, and so far they haven't found the answer for him. I don't know if there is an answer for him, quite honestly.
On the floor for San Antonio, the always reliable Parker and Green in the backcourt. Aldridge out there with Pau Gasol. And it's Leonard in at the three. Kawhi Leonard with another great season last year, earned his first of...
Rising up and hammering it home. That could be just what they need to pick their energy up.
Wow, it definitely got the guys on the bench on their feet. I'll say that for man. Oh, man, was that
And no
fun.
doubt about it, guys. That's one of those plays that will pick up his teammates. A lot of times, a play like that is just what you need to get the adrenaline flow for your team.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Kia. Rockets trail by 10. Harden lets up. And the foul called on Pau Gasol. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly he hadn't established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
Spurs leading by 10. Here's Green. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Green's got his first points in this one.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
And I say, hey, if it keeps working, go to it. Stay with it. I mean, until the defense responds and provides more resistance, keep making them pay.
Harden's shot is good.
And the shooting has really been there for him today, but he may have to take it upon himself to continue to carry this team and try and get out of this hole.
Time